It is easy to feel stuck in the darker moments of life, and it can feel very difficult and even somewhat impossible to feel grateful for things in your life when you are experiencing so much suffering and going through difficult situations. However, I think that there is a really powerful balance that can be achieved when it comes to improving your mental state. Hello, in today's video, I want to talk about practicing gratitude. I have found that by focusing on what you are grateful for can have a huge impact on your day-to-day experience and can greatly improve your overall well-being and outlook on life. I am sure you have probably heard of practicing gratitude many times before. However, I think that it is really not something that should be overlooked. As I have talked about in my other videos, I have gone through a lot of struggles in the last several years. I have reached many dark places within my own mind, and at times I have not known how or when I would ever get out of them. I struggled to have hope for the future, and I just had no idea how I would cope or move through my life. I often feel worried about the state of the world and other people, and there is just so much inequality in the world that it can feel easy for me to fall into kind of negative thinking. As humans, we have a tendency to think negatively, and this is known as the negativity bias. This bias means that we tend to pay more attention to and be more affected by negative stories and information rather than positive ones. So it does require more effort and intention to actually bring yourself out of negative thinking. So I feel like there is a really powerful balance when it comes to firstly feeling your emotions and processing them, and then practicing gratitude to improve your well-being. Firstly, I just want to say that it is so important to validate your experiences and the difficulties that you go through. Life can feel very challenging at times, and it is okay that you are struggling because we all do. Even the person that you think might not be struggling will be struggling in some way. It is just part of being human, and it is inevitable. I think as well, there is nothing worse than when someone starts a sentence with "at least" to you when you were in a low moment, because it can feel like it's invalidating your experience and shutting down your feelings. Sometimes we just want somebody to listen to us when we are in our darker moments, and not to offer advice, but just to hold space for us to feel our feelings and provide support. So practicing gratitude is not about invalidating your experiences or denying your suffering. It's more about just trying to shift your focus away from more negative feelings and thoughts over time as part of your healing process that comes from within yourself. What I do for work actually inspired me to make this video. I work as a support worker and primarily support elderly people at the moment. I come into their lives temporarily. However, I end up supporting them when they are feeling most vulnerable and when they are struggling with their physical and mental health and contemplating things such as their own death at times. I have seen what it's like firsthand to lose the ability to be able to connect with the outside world, to even be able to look after yourself, and to not be able to do all the things that you've been used to doing your whole life. These people are slowly losing their independence and going through the difficulties around that. They still have wants and needs just like everybody else, and they are often feeling lonely and anxious and depressed, and are quite literally stuck within their own homes. I'm someone who has experienced a lot of severe health anxiety, and I still feel levels of anxiety that come and go to this day. I have felt a lot of physical symptoms due to my anxiety, and it can often feel scary and debilitating and has taken over my life at times and really gotten me down. However, whenever I visit the people that I support, it just reminds me of just how healthy and capable I really am. I can do so many things that these people can't do, and even though I still have my limitations and struggles which are still valid, it does just remind me that I am so grateful to be capable of doing so many of these things that they can't with such ease. Something that might take me 30 seconds to help them with, like maybe sweeping their front porch, would take them 20 minutes to do on their own. All of these small things that I do for myself every single day that I don't even think about are so vital to living a joyful and independent life. It can become easy to overlook the smaller things in life that can be taken for granted, and it's easy to get lost within your own problems and to spiral into negativity. I want to appreciate these things now, not only once they are missing from my life. Although it of course makes sense to feel down and struggle in life, the aim is to not let it swallow you whole or to lose yourself along the way. I think that focusing on what you do have rather than what you lack is such a powerful tool to encourage positive emotions within yourself, such as joy and contentment. We live in a world that by design loves to remind us of all of the things that we lack. We are constantly being advertised to and told that we would just be happier if only we had this product or experience or whatever it is. It's this constant subtle messaging that we are never enough or have enough. It's absolutely everywhere and is often impacting us without us even realizing it. I know that I can fall into this trap myself, and it is very easy to do. I don't know who first said this, but I remember just finding it incredibly profound. The idea is that instead of thinking that I have to do this, you say to yourself that I get to do this. It creates a shift of perspective that reminds you that you have choices and that you are often really lucky to be able to do such things. Everyone experiences life differently. We don't choose where we were born or what circumstances we were born into. There are people who seem to have literally everything they could ever want and more, and then there are people who are literally dying from starvation. Unfortunately, there is so much inequality in the world, and so I think that having perspective is really important. Again, it's not about discounting your struggles. It's just about reminding yourself that you likely have a lot to be grateful for too, even amongst the difficulties in your life. Even with my struggles with tinnitus and weird vision issues due to my anxiety, I am still grateful that I can hear and see when so many people don't. Even though I have a lot of tension and pain in my body, I am still grateful to be able to walk and run and just have my independence. I am grateful to have a roof over my head and a bed to sleep in, even though I have so many sleep difficulties. I am grateful to have clean water and to be able to go to the supermarket and pick beautiful food and then to share a meal with loved ones. I am grateful to be able to immerse myself in beautiful nature, to catch up with friends, to cuddle my cat and to have a hot bath or shower, to be able to read books and watch my favorite TV shows. I could really go on and on for all of the things that I am grateful for, but I'm not going to do that in this video because that would be way too long. The point that I'm trying to make in this video is that even though there are valid and difficult struggles that we all go through, it is helpful to remind yourself of the things that you do have and is going well in your life. So finally, I thought I would just share 3 simple ways that you can practice more gratitude in your life. Number 1 is gratitude journaling. Take a couple of minutes each day to write down just 3 things to start with that you are grateful for. This can feel easier to do on some days and not so easy on others. I remember when I started to do this, I could only think of a couple of things in the midst of my high levels of anxiety. Over time, I ended up writing more and more things that I was grateful for, and I could really feel this shift of perspective and more positive kind of outlook on my own life. Number 2, gratitude meditation. Spend a few minutes focusing on the things that you are grateful for. Close your eyes and take some deep breaths and think about all of the things that you have rather than what you lack, and think about the things that might still be going well in your life. It is possible to have struggles and good things going on at once. Number 3, gratitude walk. Go for a walk outside and focus on the things around you that you are grateful for, such as the ability to be able to walk in the first place, the beautiful nature around you, or the kind strangers nearby. Over time, you will hopefully start to notice the positive effects that practicing gratitude consistently and intentionally can have on your mood, your mindset, and your overall well-being. I am grateful for simply being alive in this moment, and I am so aware of how short our time on this planet really is, and that it could end at any moment. I want to live intentionally with gratitude as often as I can, and I try to remind myself that I am lucky enough just to be on this planet, even though it can be quite a wild and chaotic place. Life is full of suffering, and it is also full of beauty. It's about trying to find balance of acknowledging and honoring both. Thank you for watching this video, and I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful to be able to make these videos and just share my thoughts with other people that I have never met on the internet. Have a lovely day or night wherever you are, and please stay hopeful.